Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today at the Races on this sunny Sunday, Fun Day Sunday, whatever you want to call it, here at Laurel Park. We're happy the wind's died down a little bit. I'm Dave Rodman, filling in for Stanton Salter, who has a much-deserved day off today. Joined by Keith Fustel, our morning line maker, and from Equibase, does all the notes you see in the program with Bill Brasmo. So here today at the races, we've got a lot to cover today, and most importantly, Keith, a $25,308 carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6.
Yeah, we're going to get you a little setup ticket, not too expensive for that Rainbow Pick 6. Yeah, great carryover. Get us, pump 10, 15,000 into it. We'd be shooting for 30, 35,000. That would be nice, and it's not an easy sequence. Race 7 is just a bear, in my opinion. Had a tough time with the line in that race. Man, if you could somehow manage a ticket and hit the all button, do it, because it would not surprise me with any runner that comes out of that race on top.
You read my mind. You took the words right out of my mouth about the 7th race. That's why you've got to play that pick 6 today. It's a wide open race. If you can afford that all button, I've got a long shot, I believe, in there.
Yes,
maybe to take a look at today, Sunday. But a reminder, we'll be here on track tomorrow due to the nor'easter wind cancellation on Friday. Special live racing on Monday afternoon. It's going to be another nice day out here at Laurel Park, so coming out for live racing and simulcast action. It's the same card that was supposed to be run on Friday, so no position changes, all set. Friday's card just transferred to Monday, so join us here at Laurel Park.
No excuses. We've had plenty of time to handicap that card, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. St. Patty's Day coming up, too, as we roll in the month of March. Boy, did it roll in like a lion with the wind and the nor'easter, but St. Patty's Day, the weather improving throughout the month of March. The turf course already has a little bit of green on it, I see, out here at Laurel Park, and we're going to have plenty of green on St. Patty's Day for our St. Patty's Day pig roast. Join us for that feast on St. Patty's Day. 5 stakes races as well here at Laurel Park.
Oh, that'll be a big day. Looking forward to that. A little green beer in the offing for us.
Well, it just says beverages, so your choice. So
I'll bring the die.
Okay, it sounds good. Okay, so much to cover, including that pick 6. Let's start everything in the opener. We're going to go through all 9 races today. Keith, a mile in the opener, 5,000 non-winners of 3, and a lot of folks are going to gravitate to Lala Bamba, who's been pretty consistent with early speed, but she's run second 5 times in her career. I initially was going to lean toward her, and I decided to play against her here. I wouldn't blame you if you used her on the ticket, but you've got her on top.
I kind of think maybe she's all or nothing here. Can she go ahead and set sail? Might have to take a little bit of pressure from Awesome Ama and then kick on from there. Last time out, speed kind of held up. Florida Force, though, a 7-time winner that beat her last time out. Now she's in a 3-in-life condition race, but awfully scary. Lynch over the last couple of years, his claims, he's 2 for 10. And that's 2 for 10. Everything else has been off the board. So it's kind of an all-or-nothing proposition. La Bamba should be forwardly placed. I expect an aggressive ride towards the front with Vargas, see if she can carry this field coast to coast. But there are some negatives. Joan Reynolds dropped this horse, claimed from Joan, dropped again from Gonzalez. You're reaching in off of a big, potent barn. But I agree with the other horses that you have in the mix, Dave.
Yeah, Lala Bamba, I mean, she dropped from 10 to 5. They dangled right in front of her. Now she comes back off the claim in for a nickel again. So perhaps somebody going to take a shot at the claim box with her. But perhaps some pace pressure from Awesome Alma, just enough to soften her up a little bit. And that's why I went with number 6 here, Spicy Girl Red. Though she's 0 for 11 on the dirt here at Laurel Park. Ham Smith, 17% in the past 3 years were dirt route races. That's a pretty stout stat. I mean, he's winning at a good clip this season at Laurel Park at 24%. Last year was 11%, but that's a good stat. And she's faced some she's had a few excuses, perhaps, in a route races or sprints, like running against Beautiful Maiden, who's now 7 for 25 lifetime 4-back. She doesn't like the wet. She's 0 for 4, hasn't been on the board in 4 tries on an off track. Today she gets a fast track and perhaps an okay setup.
Yeah, third off of a little bit of a layoff. I think will creep into contention, no doubt, and is wanting a duel to develop between the 3, Lala Bamba, and the 4, Awesome Mama. Another horse I'm intrigued by is the 7, Classy Scarlet, coming back to the 1-turn mile, a race in which a distance in which she was victorious 3 races back. Mike Blake started out like a house of fire. Things have cooled off a little bit. It hasn't run a whole lot of horses, but Classy Scarlet fits. Early trouble on a speed-favoring racetrack gave her no chance really to make up the ground last time out, Dave. I think she can move into good position with Weston Hamilton. Lala Bamba, use cautiously. I'm going to take the horse on top, but I'm definitely going to toss her on a couple tickets and come back and maybe spread with these other horses, the 6, 7, and the 4.
All right. Well, speaking of claims, out of the second race at 5.5 furlongs, the inside gelding here, Silver Cowboy, runs first off the claim for trainer Jamie Ness, has won 3 of his last 4 starts, but starting a new barn this afternoon, and you got a little bit of a video spotlight on him today on Silver Cowboy from the inside gate in the second race.
Not an easy trip at all last time when victorious on February the 17th. A little lean in at the break and a bump and a steady. Put this horse in a little bit of a precarious position early on. Jockey Stevie Hamilton having to deal with that, but did get a good little setup, some speed, set things up, and going to move into contention. This horse made a nice move. There you go, pick up the gray, now shifting out to about the 4-5 path, turning for home, setting the sights on far from awesome Tam attack at even money that day. This horse is just grinding it out. Look at that repeated left-handed stick work by Hamilton. Strong ride. This horse levels off through the final 16th of a mile to win, edging away 3 parts of a length, just kind of gathering up in hand late. Now, the worry there, once again, this horse was in good form, a big race, 3 races back, but they dangled this horse in for the tag. Jamie Ness went ahead and claimed, very potent off the claim is Ness. Down inside, yes, there's going to be some speed. You know, that was just the scary part for me, though, why they give this horse away last time out after that gaudy 84 3 races back.
They had the right to drop him in. He was beaten at 1-2 going a mile, perhaps a victim of a distance and a not-so-good inside that day with the Casby horse winning there, the great Casby, who won the race on January the 20th. So this is his game. Sprinting the inside doesn't worry me because he was inside last time and then angled out. So once he gets out in the clear, and I think he'll have a little time to do it here. I'm going to use him in here, but you went the other way there, the 5. Bird of Trey, another horse off the claim, this time from Ness to Lynch.
Yeah, maybe Lynch can catch the early double this afternoon. Bird of Trey, I expected a better effort last time out. Didn't fire at all. Now, it was the 21st. The speed in that race went around the racetrack together, basically. The great provider and Dr. Bolt. I like the works off the claim. Forward works looking good. A bullet on the February 15th and a solid work back on the 4th. I think this horse, if he's right, is going to be into the race a lot sooner than what he was last time. Just looking for a little bit better price. I think he's going to get an okay setup. Crimson Secret, you know, he's a price. He's going to speed away from the outside. I don't think Bobcat's going to let him get too far away. Bird of Trey, slight upsetter, but in arrears. I know jumping can condition when you break it down, but boy, he's faced maybe a little bit better horses, Dave, in his last 2.
Yeah, Bird of Trey tailed off a little bit his last 2-3 starts, but, you know, you have to wonder, is the wake-up call that February 15th work with 48-1, the best of 12. There was another horse who tied for the best work that morning, a much better horse named Team Tim. Yeah. So equal works, you know, if you take them one against the other, perhaps Bird of Trey has turned the corner here and first off the claim for the Lynch barn, looking for that double.
Yeah, I think it offers maybe the best value in this race. In arrears, we're going to talk about the 4 horses, as I said. 2 tough races back to back. This horse is just kind of a little bit unlucky when you break it down. 4 straight seconds now for Brandon McFarlane. Wild Dreams, 2 races back. That horse came back to win an allowance race. So don't think this is really necessary a jump up in class for the 4 in arrears, and he'll set a perfect trip in here and make a run at him.
It's funny because early in his career, I remember his first start or 2, I believe it was his first start, he showed tremendous early speed. He went right to the front. He's got some good speed. He's learned to settle, relax a little bit, but the 8 times second there really has to concern you out of 19 starts, regardless of the company lines he's kept January, February here over this track. So Keith went 5-4-1-3 in the second. All right. Alrighty, let's go to the 3rd on the program. It's a mile maiden claiming race in here. It'll be interesting to see if we kind of agree in this spot. Almost. The 3 seems to be the horse to beat. Deb's the Boss, coming off of a little bit of trouble, a dull performance, but that was on a sloppy track. Got a fast track again today. You look at his race against the Queen of Schmooze 2 races back, and you got to say, well, this is the horse to beat. Coming back quick for Dale Capuano here. Small sampling according to Daily Racing Form, 25%, but you got to remember there are only 8 starts in there for the quick turnaround for the barn.
Didn't run a step really last time when you break it all down. I had no speed whatsoever. I expected her to be forward in that race, and it wasn't there. Maybe she just really hated the sloppy sealed surface. Comes back quickly, stretches out. Look at the breeding. 2 dirt route winners in the family. Cap 45%, Dave, over the last 30 days. He's just rolling right along. I think Deb's the boss, has the advantage from a pace standpoint. I think doesn't necessarily need to lead, but she's going to be forward. I think she can go ahead and get by this field. Good effort, 2 races back against Queen of Schmooze. And you got to figure those first 2 races in her career, she was down pinned inside and just didn't fire at all. I like Deb's the boss in here, right back quickly. Donna's Delight, I don't know. Last time, maybe the sloppy surface again caused that horse's decline and maybe caused the raise in performance by the 6, Mo Money Monica, who just ran big out of nowhere.
Yeah, Deb's the boss. Keith got on top. So do I. I mean, that race 2 back on the fast track. You said strong. Chansey, remember her? She came back,
yes.
The 4th place finisher, and she's been going strong as of late too. So I think it was a slop. And, maybe use the 6 if you got the 6 in the mix too. I maybe try to key in exacta here. Use the 3. I'm going to use the 6 Mo Money Monica, 6 Mo Money Monica second. Second last time out on the sloppy track. Good going at 55-1. But that was a pretty strong race there. Coveralls came back to win. Sharon's Thunder, recent second to Prank's Call, the winner of that race. Prank Call, the winner of that race. Sharon's Thunder came back to run a strong second. So maybe just a little bit of improvement here puts her in the hunt for second money.
Yeah, and a little bit of stretch. Southam's had some sneaky good races. They sprint the routes. That was second time blinkers. Now we're going to go third blinkers today for Mo Money Monica. A little look maybe at the 1st or the 5. Red Ruckus for Carl Duran. And not a whole lot to go off by the works. Even the breeding has a half-sister by Dunkirk that did make 111,000. Only 1 win, but did crank it up into the lower 80s. But here's a little interesting tidbit. Over his career with 3-year-old firsters on the dirt, Duran, $2.48 ROI. Not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Minus touch, those sire. Don't know much, I don't believe, but he's had a winner. So interesting firster in here, but starting at a low level for Duran. All righty, we got the first 3 down, but everybody's going to be concentrating today on races 4 through 9, and everybody should have a ticket on the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6, 25,000 carryover. We'll get to that Rainbow Pick 6 right after this.
Hey, pass me a kickstart.
Mountain Dew Kickstart with 2 new flavors that taste good.
Back on today at the races, sponsored by Fidelity First. Dave Rodman in for Stanton Salter today, alongside of Keith Fustel, as we break down the Rainbow Pick 6 this afternoon. Enticing carryover, 25,308. And if you missed the first part of the show, the reason you got to have a ticket this afternoon, a wide open 7th race. Keith has a ticket. We're going to have a video spotlight in this 4th race here at 5.5 furlongs, $7,500 with conditions attached. Interesting scratch in here, Keith. A Margarita Sunrise out. One of the speeds is out of the race. I don't know. I
thought he was going to draw plenty of play. That race kind of came out of nowhere, I thought, last time. A big number of 77. Reminded me of King's House's race a couple weeks ago on that off track, the way he just kind of whistled out of nowhere. But another day for the 1, Margarita Sunrise. Here's your pick 6. Taking a little bit of a guide here to get you started. 28.80. A little bit of a frame, 6'7", 2 deep in the opener. I like Wise Mac. I think this horse is going to improve second time off the claim and back on a fast track. We're also going to use the 7. Leg 2, race 5, top prospect, going for 4 straight for Mary Epler. Not really a raise in class when you break it all down. Price shot, the 6, Gadget Man for Hugh McMahon, 2 deep in race number 6 with the 1. The road's going to go through the 1, aligned in numbers, I believe. Sharp speed from the inside for trainer Donna Lockhart. Also like the 9, just warming up. We'll talk about that one a little bit later. Race 7, 3 deep with the 1, Bay of Cats, the 3, Queen of Schmooze, who's undefeated in 2 starts, and the 9, Trufflesburg, a little trouble right behind Queen of Schmooze last time out. Race 8, the 1, Cherry and the Hawk, the 2, Blue Union Rags, and the 8, Stella B. I think they're the 3 logical horses, Dave, in there. And 2 deep to wrap it up, Mystic Bell and Raging Regina, as we talked about. A very difficult sequence. Race 7, wide open. That'll get you started 28.80. Not saying we might be able to pull it down with this ticket, but if you can, maybe out a little bit more, beef it up a little bit, get you a little bit better shot.
That's a reasonable guide for under $30, and adding a horse or two is not going to cost you that much money, especially if you go in with a pal today on that Rainbow Pick 6. Well, again, Margarita Sunrise, a key scratch out of there, taking some of the steam out of the race. You've got Wise Mac on top, little video spotlight horse here for a horse who's had a pretty good history here in Maryland. I mean, he's won on the dirt, and I recall winning on the turf as well. 8-year-old, perhaps going to be rejuvenated in the Dale Capuano barn. That was a muddy track last time out, and he faced a tough horse there, old 9-year-old Sam Sparkle.
Yeah, last time out it was a speed-favoring racetrack, negative inside. Today I think he's going to get a track that he prefers and a little drop in condition. Here you see him back on December the 2nd, just ramping up 3 wide with a nice, steady progression. Now that was back in the Jamie Ness barn, even 4 wide, turning for home, grabs command upper stretch, and goes ahead and wins clear, drawing off by about 4 1/4. Against Never Stop Looking, a horse that would fit Dave, you would think, at this level, an old class horse for Claudio Gonzalez. So Wise Mac, 2 races back, December 29th. I didn't like him up forward on the lead. That's not really his style. I like him coming from somewhere mid-pack. He was spinning his wheels last time out, went down inside. He'll get some speed to run out. He can target I-1 to win. And Malibu Sunset, I think Malibu Sunset is the survivor of the speed. He looks awfully tough in here for Scott Lake.
Yeah, who will be the sole survivor. But with Margarita Sunrise out, perhaps making it a little easier for Malibu Sunset Speed to carry. Oh, he was fully extended to try to hold the lead. Couldn't do it last time out to Duke in with Dale here at Laurel Park. He gets a good draw for his early speed on the outside, but he might have some pace pressure here with 5 I-1 to win, who's still in the race. So that concerns me in the hot Hugh McMahon barn. If the pace heats up enough, and I would have preferred if Margarita Sunrise had stayed in. I was hoping and thinking that maybe Big Slick, he could be the one to rally. He's a 3-time winner here at Laurel Park. Faced ultra-tough Hey Willie last time out in a good effort, 3rd there. 2 races back, January 26th, Parade of Nations came out of that race to win, who's a multiple winner over this track. How many has he won Parade of Nations over this track? I forgot to look at it, maybe 5 or 6. A lot of wins. So the last 2 running lines, ultra strong for Big Slick, who's seemingly a little bit off form, but maybe can make the turnaround here and come back with an off-the-pace rally, or slightly off of it.
A little similar. You look back, compared to Wise Mac, 2 races back, he was up on the lead. That's not his game. Last time out, he was hampered, made a decent little mid-move, flattened on a speed-favoring track behind Hey Willie and Serban. Needs a well-timed run, very capable, and he certainly could be a winner in race number 4. I like the 2 Adversary. I think you're still going to hold price with his horse behind Margarita Sunrise last time out, ramping up in the numbers, 3rd time back in a barn that has gotten the best out of this particular runner. Adversary, an excuse 2 back when bleeding. I think he could definitely be rolling late in here.
Alrighty, so interesting pace scenario ahead. To start off, the Rainbow Pick 6 with a carryover at 25,000 plus. 5th race, it's good to see horses like 10-year-old Top Prospect do what he's doing. He's won 3 in a row now. Here he is, 10, seemingly the best form of his career. A 9-time winner lifetime, and 3 of them have come in the last few months here at the age of late 9 and now at the ripe old age of 10. We've had several horses over the last decade or 2 that I remember, doing this, getting better with age. So it's interesting to see if he can stretch the streak to 4 in the 5th race to kick off the 50-cent late pick 5.
Yeah, I mean, once again, really not a major step up when you're looking at it, going from the nickel to the open 11. But comparatively, he fits with these. He's going to be the horse to beat just based on his consistency, his recent form, and he's shown tactical speed. I thought this horse was a much better horse on the turf. He's running just fine right now on the dirt. Looking for a little higher price. How about the 6 go to the outside with Gadget Man? Not really worried. Mile and 16th race, a little shorter run. I think he can get position. Excuses last 2 up at Penn in those starter allowance races. Decent fields up there. Lunge at the break, 2 back. He's got enough speed to get position early. Got the money rider here, Rodriguez, for Hugh McMahon. When he runs big, he runs real big, and I think he's ready to pop this afternoon.
All righty. So, inside Top Prospect, a 10-year-old. Keith going with a hot trainer there, and Hugh McMahon with an excuse off a couple of races out of town. In our common picks here, number 3, Mythos. I thought a pretty good race. Kind of ran against the grain of the track on February 17th and closing. 7 furlongs, maybe not his best distance. And you look at his race 2 back on a good drawing out track where the winner, second place finisher, Southside Warrior, came back to win. I just like that last race. I think he's going to pick up a share today, rally a little bit better than he did last time out when the track was more conducive to speed in that Parade of Nations race.
Parade of Nations pretty much able to dictate for the most part, and negative inside on the 28th. Mythos is steady, soar. I expect a good effort, a little drop down, slight drop down for him. He fits somewhere from mid-pack.
All right, that's the 5th race. So start the 50-cent late pick 5 on to race 6. Maiden claimers $40,000 in the spot. Of course, if you're Maryland bred, you're not in for that tight waiver claimer. And align the numbers you've got lined at 7 to 5 here with that blazing early speed. And speaking of speed tracks, I thought February the 11th that day, speed was holding. He had it, couldn't hold on to the lead. Birdie's Honor was right up close and on the engine the entire way that day and just wore down the speed of Align the Numbers. Can you take him at a short price from the inside? I know he's run against Still Having Fun, who won the Miracle Wood. He won the Whiteley. His last 3 Beyer figures, 88, 92, 83. You're talking about Still Having Fun. A multiple stakes winner now that Align the Numbers ran with as a 2-year-old. But we're leaning kind of the same way in here. Guess our eyes were on the same horse on February the 11th out of the Align the Numbers race, just warming up.
Well, that was kind of a crazy race, a big field, 14 horses on the 11th. Align the Numbers was able to use that speed to his advantage, get clear. Birdie's Honor just ran huge that day, a Beyer somewhere in the mid-70s. Align the Numbers, the road's going to go through him. The Treetop Flyer also out of that race. Where was the speed? I expected him to force the issue. He was nowhere to be found. I think he's going to add some pace presence this afternoon and maybe soften up the 1. The 9 just warming up. We took this horse last time at 12 to 1, or was it? Yeah, 12 to 1. Just got lost in the shuffle, dropped way back. I mean, Bill was calling a chart. I'm looking on the TV screen, taking the numbers down. I'm like glancing, where's this horse? Where's this horse? I don't know. Just got lost in the shuffle. I know one thing: this horse ran well in debut. This is second time blinkers, dead fit, had the mile work, had the last race, shorter field. I think Sheldon get this horse to settle, maybe 6 or 7 off of it early and come rolling late to upset the apple cart. And I think you should still get a square price on the 9 just warming up.
Yeah, he kind of finished through some mild traffic in the stretch on a track that was more conducive to speed. I mean, he did show that hint last year as a 2-year-old in his debut run, a couple of winners out of that race. And that race by the Eagle Terrace, I believe Torture Truthin was in that race. Next out winner of Maiden 40 as well. So he's got the company lines. He's by Great Notion, Keith. Great, you know. Here's an interesting stat for you. The last 5 years, dirt sprints at Laurel. All you have to do is bet horses by Great Notion. That's it.
Let me guess.
8.
I was going to say around 20, 22%.
18% winners,
solid.
but a positive ROI, 3% ROI, 47% in the money. So anytime you see that Maryland Sire Great Notion in there, Stallion, I mean, you've got to take an extra look, whether it's a first-time starter or any horse in a sprint, really, just he's produced winner and stakes winner after stakes winner as well.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, the 3 Treetop Flyer, I expect a little improvement, and I think this horse will bounce back, force the issue. You've got the 4 in the mix. Crutchelli, an improving sort, I believe. Again, though, falls way back early. Little excuse in debut when stumbling. You think he can kind of get up at the shorter distance of 5.5.
Yeah, against the grain run, finished 3rd, actually beat your top pick, my top pick there, and he ran 5th in that stumbling start to Global Citizen, who was 2nd in the Jimmy Wingfield to a different style up in New York. So good company lines, but again, he's the kind of lags behind a little bit early there. You know, if Align the Numbers wins at a short price, you know, we're probably going to have another carryover, I guess.
Is Mary Epler laying in the weeds with Idle Wind? Out of Idle Talk, 12 for 43 was Idle Talk. Man, a lot of money. Could run on the turf, could run on the dirt. Really liked an off dirt when that horse loved it when it rained. Idle Wind, interesting. I'm thinking more along the lines of a little prep, maybe looking forward to turf season.
Right, looking forward to turf. He's by English Channel. You would think turf, and his sire English Channel 6 for 89 with debut dirt starters on the sprint. So not a blazing stat there, but again, the mare was a winner, and we've seen Mary pull some upsets before. Kind of a horse that makes you wonder in there. If you can afford to throw in at a big price, you want to be the Rainbow Jackpot winner. You've got to have that and a couple other nice runners too to get you home. Okay, we're on to race 7 on the program, and that's 6 furlongs, $35,000 claiming price in here. And this is the race we've been talking about all morning. That could be the upset. And I'm looking for a doozy of a price in here with It's a Doozy, who broke the maiden at 41 to 1.
Yeah.
She had an off-the-pace rally, rated behind a four-way scramble for the lead. Scramble, your term there in the chart, and went on to win at 41. Last time out, in a little deep, so to speak, no pun intended, behind Deep Red. Got out a little bit around the turn, a little concerned about that, but Elvis is coming back for Ferris Allen. They are a tough combo together. They're 5 for 26 together in the last 6 months, 54% of the money. I don't know. I just hope somebody's waiting in the wings here.
This race is it's one of the hardest races I've seen in a while. You know, open 35 for these 3-year-old fillies. Any way you slice it, you can find a reason pretty much to bet any horse in this race. I go to the inside. I think it's just a strong number. Look at this for Dale Cap. First blink, sample size. Only 11 horses, 36% ROI of over $7. I went on the way back. He's still positive, over 20% going back over the last 5 years with this kind of move. This horse shows steady progression. Yeah, we're going to go first time for Dale off of Mary, just a slight jump up. This horse keeps running through the wire. That's what I want to see. I think we've got some speed in this race to the outside. I think Weston, with the blinkers on, will get a forward position, maybe kind of pocket it in behind some horses close up mid-turn and make a run from there. This race, you can go all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, Queen of Schmooze, all she's done is win her first 2 starts. Overcame a lot of trouble in debut, and the next out, a little bit more professional win. And rolling right up the ladder for Ham Smith, Franklin G. Smith, Gorey, our man down in Ellery. As we say it time and time again, nobody does more with less than this combination.
A Bay of Cats.
What appears to be less, I should say, when you're talking about the numbers, the
speed
dollar
figures,
size.
yeah. And that's what's going to get a lot of people maybe off Bay of Cats too. You got 24-31 buyer stare in your face in the first couple, but the blinkers go on here. That's key. And going back mentally to remembering her race at Laurel, where she was a game second at Tis Surprise, even going back to her maiden win at Delaware Park, gamely to run down the leader. It seems like maybe they're getting a little more focused and concentrate down to the wire more. I know she was beaten by Proportionality, who's in the race too, but throws in a clunker first off the claim for Phil Schoenthal, but that was on a sloppy track here on February the 18th. No works either for her since that dull performance. Interesting.
And she got that 64 on a race. She really dictated. And you look at the internals, 23 and 347 and 2. That's awfully soft when you're talking for 3/4 of a mile at Laurel. She had, she did what she was supposed to do against that field last time out. Yeah, it was a sloppy sealed surface, but she's got speed to the inside with Dad City's Girl. Traffic Plan, I think is going to apply some pressure. Dancer Stroll, I don't know if she's got that kind of speed. Trufflesburg and Treaty, she was really on the bit behind horses last time out. Went second to Queen of Schmooze, had to angle out, kind of bump the rival, caused a little interference through the stretch, but she was going very well through the final 1/8 of a mile. She's probably better positioned to the outside. Even Firth, I'm going to throw in the mix. You're going to get a big price on Grand Motion. You don't always get a big price on him, but the turn back sprinting is probably what she wants to do.
Yeah, I agree there. She'll come rolling late, and she'll be a little more well-positioned early in the race. Blinkers go on, Dance or Stroll for the Gerald Brooks Barn. Nice win yesterday for cooking up a storm. Once that Brooks Barn, I noticed once they get hot, sometimes they'll win 2, 3, 4 races in a period of a week or two, and maybe this is a sign here. They're adding the blinkers first off the claim for a sharp barn there. But again, Proportionality, Bay of Cats, Dad City Girl, they've all beaten this filly in the past. So lots of changes, some shortening up here, good angles in the 7th race. I don't know. I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Spread. That's all I can tell you. Spread in that race.
Spread if you can. Okay, 8th race on the program is a mile and a 16th. Some fillies here on a stretch out. One of them on the inside, Cherry and the Hawk. Will be a video spotlight for Keith in the 8th race today. But did you pick her?
I did. I used Cherry and the Hawk on top, and I thought that was a real good effort. Reading between the lines and watching the video from January 27th, we had that guys going the mile distance, stepping off of a big daylight win for maiden 40s. Random was in for the waiver, but that day was down inside. You see this trip early on, prompting the pace with a long shot to the outside. The 27th of January was one of the really negative inside days at Laurel. Sheldon Russell just says, you know what, I'm not going to kind of battle and get this horse in a duel, but rates back. And I think just, was at the mercy of the racetrack that day, Dave. That was the performance. And she drafts back 3-4 lengths out of it, under some coaxing past the 3 ace pole. But what I like is the willingness through the final 3/16 of a quarter of a mile. He stays into her. You know, she just kind of holds her position there. Vente to go, the eventual winner, circles up about 4 wide. Moving to the outside, you had Stormologist, who I believe was the favorite in there, Dave. Really flattens out a little bit late. But let's pick up down to the inside. Angling out past the 3/16 pole. Look, she looks done now, Cherry and the Hawk. Winner extending. No give up at all for Cherry and the Hawk. She's going to continue willing, actually close almost 3 lengths, Dave, through the final 1/8 of a mile. Looking back, she showed good gate speed from an inside post at a mile. This is a mile and a 16 2-turn. She's going to get great position with her tactical speed. I like to stretch out the negative. Where's the work since?
Well, but, you know, she doesn't work a lot. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing about her is a filly who, I guess, Phil Schoenthal just kind of, you know, punters her in the morning, gets her fit by galloping around there. But, yeah, she doesn't have a strong work pattern in between any of her races, really. And she caught the eye in her debut back as a 2-year-old when she finished 5th to Enchanted Ghost with a strong gallop out. Everybody was on her that next start, December 29th. She fell short rallying as the favorite, and then a blow-away win at a 1-turn mile. Yeah, she can handle this 2 turns and no problem being by El Padrino. She's going to get a great trip down to the inside. The lack of the work scenario doesn't really concern me because she's never really had that kind of pattern in the past, you know. So anyway, Cherry and the Hawk will be your top pick, and we didn't mention an important scratch in there. 7 Child's Play, who was in that video you saw a few moments ago, is out. On the outside is Stella B from the John Service Barn. Added blinkers to put it all together for the maiden score at 30,000 and service stat. On the way for you. He's got a couple of runners in here. Blue Union Rags breaking from post 2 just outside of Cherry and the Hawk, and the outside stretcher is Stella B.
Yeah, similar running style. Stella B might have to be used a little bit more from that outside post going 2 turns. Here's your stat. Over the past 2 years, John Service, 7 for 27 and 21 for 27 in the money. With 3-year-old fillies coming off of a top buyer, routing last out on the dirt. ROI of $2.60. It's a positive move. You get 2 for the price of 1 here, I guess. Not really, but you get 2 off of that stat with Stella B and Blue Union Rags. Really progressing nicely for this barn. The barn has just been knocking them dead when shipping down from Parks. But I'm going to take Cherry and the Hawk on top. Gets the jump, I believe, on these closers. Aviles is interesting now. I'm going to throw Aviles into the mix, the 4-horse for Gary Cap. 2 straight wins, now stepping up from the 25 up to the 50. Here's a little stat. 3-year-olds, 10 for 34 off of a top buyer last out on the dirt over the last couple years, $3.30. With routes, 6 for 13 off of that top number. Awfully strong and a protect move for Gary Cap.
So you're preferring on your service stat, you're preferring Blue Union Rags over Stella B on the outside.
Yes,
Aviles, I mean, it seemed like they took forever and a day to get home there on January 14th.
Yeah.
That went over Grease Lightning. I mean, she didn't beat a whole lot. Donna's Delight, you see, I think, running earlier, right, in the day-to-day. So I'm a little bit concerned, perhaps. I know maybe if she even tries to get it out there and slow her down, she's going to be tested at some point. But a great stat on both Gary Cap and the Service Barn, running 2 in the 8th in the program. All right, the 9th race on the card. We've kind of an open race. There's a change here, and Mystic Bell with blinkers on. You've got some video of Raging Regina in for that 5.5 maiden claiming in the finale of the day. And I guess on the video spotlight, we're probably going to see
we're going to see the
stumble.
both
Both horses, though, right? They're out of the same race. Sindara, is that the race you're showing?
Yes.
So we were looking at your stumble here for Raging Regina.
There we go.
Boom.
Bad stumble.
That was
in the 10 that day, and that was just enough. I mean, that was a brutal beginning, and you're going to follow her again. Just kind of getting into position and steadying behind horses. Not once, but a couple times, down to the back of the pack, trying to make a move. You're going to pick her up right about now, Dave. A little trouble. Now caught up, 3 or 4 horses there in a jumble. You're going to see a check right out of here in the green silks, and another steady again shortly thereafter. That's it. Miss Piccadilly, that's good, guys. Miss Piccadilly had everything her own way. On the lead, opening up 4. Still couldn't quite hold on. I know gets a little less ground to cover today, but I think with a better break, Raging Regina can go ahead and get in a good stalking position. I'd like the 2-back try against Grand Lassie, but Mystic Bell, interesting. Hamilton had his choice.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to Mystic Belle.
Well, you saw her in the blue colors. Who broke on top, kind of settled back second, and then kind of got disinterested on the turn and ran an even fifth through the stretch. Blinkers go on for Mystic Belle's second time out here for trainer Gerald Brooks. And the damn West Side Lady loved to win. She was an 11-time winner. 5 sprints, 6 going long. She could do it all. And two of her siblings are multiple winners, West Side Ladies, Mystic Belle siblings. So,
I took her on top last time, Dave. I
Yeah.
used her in that race. I thought it was a very questionable race. The horses that had run, so I said, all right, she looked like a live horse out of the family, right? Productive mare. I used her, and the blinkers go on, and with Hamilton going this way, could be a major tell in the nightcap.
all righty. So, but the speed of Ms. Piccadilly, I had no doubt she's probably going to be on the engine again, right?
Absolutely. I think that's her best chance to win. And I'm going to toss in to the outside. Pretty is new money for Donna Locker. We haven't seen this horse since early October. Has capable numbers. Mid to low 30 is probably going to win it from the buyer scale. She's done that a couple times. I think the freshening is going to do her good. She'll be fairly forward against this field, I would think.
I threw in Mary Maid, 160, 110 to 1, just kind of on the bottom of the ticket. If you believe that Mary Maid might know what her siblings have done, they've won at 45 to 1 and 16 to 1. So can she read a form? Can she read Daily Racing Form Formulator? Is this a question for Mary Maid? Maybe just at the bottom of the ticket.
That could secure a lone ticket. She gets it done. No
Absolutely,
doubt, for the rainbow.
Right. If you're a believer. All righty, that's it for today at the races, sponsored by Fidelity First. It's been good sitting in for Stanton Salter, who's got the day off, and Keith, let's take down that Rainbow Pick 6 today. If not you, one of our lucky listeners out there at Laurel Park.
That sounds good. Good luck.
Good luck.